In this video, I will be backtesting NQ and ICT is dropping sauce about algorithm. It took me a few hours to create this video, so I'd really appreciate it if you could give it a like. Your like will boost this video in the YouTube algorithm and help me get more views. These numbers encourage me to create more content like this. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the video.
They won't be this candid about it because it would mar their image. I don't care about image. I don't care about it. Because me being viewed or loved or hated has nothing to do with your bottom line. That's the only thing I care about. Do my students learn properly? Am I providing the information honestly? And that way you can see it. I'm executing based on the logic, and I'm also teaching you exactly when I'm not expecting it to work. It's not the algorithm's broke. It's not the algorithm stopped working. They're not changing the algorithm. It's just these are days that there's no rhyme or reason for you to be expecting precision. You just can't do it. I can probably list 2 or 3 times where the market went to a target in 30 years that I had predetermined before 8:30 would start. And honestly, I think maybe one of them was made public. And that was it. Then you would think if there was something to this day that I had an advantage over, wouldn't I like to be flexing it and showing you publicly? Because I would. I would. That's my personality. I would do it. Just like I showed the precision and everything else. I caught the big move with a lot of ticks or handles earlier in the week. And that's how I train my students. Look when the moves are going to be logical and where it's likely to form. And when you get it, you stop, you close up shop, and don't worry about the rest of the week. Let the retail people trade this. Let them wreck themselves. Let them get mad. Let them get all worked up in a frenzy. You're on an extended weekend every first week of the month. This is your protocol. This is exactly how I teach my students, okay? You are welcome to trade on Monday. You're welcome to trade on Tuesday. London session, New York session, PM session in the afternoon for stock indices. This goes for Forex and futures. But now here's where the deviants come into the conversation. I like ICT, I like some of his stuff, but I'm going to cherry pick this part and remove it from me because I'm going to be the exception of the rule. Don't do this. Here's where you need to listen. You young folks, okay, especially the men. Do not, listen, do not trade after the morning session in Wednesday. So you're welcome to trade up to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock if you're doing stock indices. But at 11 o'clock, be done. Don't touch it in the afternoon. You'll regret it. Don't touch it on Thursday. You'll regret it. And certainly don't trade on non-farm payroll Fridays. Because chances are you're probably going to be offside, which means you're on the wrong side of the marketplace, and it's going to rip against you. And your stop loss won't be respected. How's that possible, ICT? How I had my stop loss in there. My broker has to get me out at the stop. No, your broker doesn't have to do that. Okay? Because if your stop loss is, for instance, at 38.41 and a half, okay, you're getting filled at 38.50 or higher. That's slippage. Welcome to the real world. Okay? There's no slippage in demo. In paper trading, there's no slippage. And that's why these guys will put that they have 50 contracts on moves like this. And they're not going to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. They're not going to co-sign what they believe before it happens. They're going to show you the history after it happens. That doesn't help you. That's an ego stroking for them. I'm trying to absolutely teach you. Okay, I'm pouring myself out this year. I'm doing everything I can to make you understand why I say the things I say, how I do it, why I don't try to do it on other days. If you want to try to trade like me and learn how to do things that I do with these concepts, it makes sense for you to do what? Subscribe to everything, because every little thing has its place in the way I think about the marketplace. You can't, honestly, in my opinion, you can't come in and just cherry pick certain things that you like me saying. Oh, that sounds cool. But then when I get to the real meat and potatoes of it all, which is these things right here. How do you avoid losing money? Nobody writes books about that. Nobody does that because it's not exciting. Money management books, they're the least bought books. I've already suggested that Ralph Vince, and Ryan Jones, those two fellas, outside of what I teach about it, which is really just, a simplification, if you will, of what they talk about in their books, because they're very boring. They're expensive. Most people won't want to spend that much money on a money management book. Okay, I understand that. I didn't want to do that either. When I was young, I bought all the books that gave me the indicators because I was looking for the holy grail in the settings. Tell me what the indicators are supposed to be on my chart, what the settings are going to be, and then I'll know how to trade. And that doesn't work. That does not work, because if it did, nobody would lose money when they first start trading, because everybody does what? They put indicators on a chart. And unless you know what price is likely to do, how's it going to behave? That's narrative. Behavior is narrative. How's it likely to do certain things? Why should it do those certain things? And then when it does those certain things, what setups, what patterns, what concepts or conceptual theory would be applicable to finding entry in that narrative or in that behavior? And that's a huge chasm of understanding that 99.999% of educators, authors, and pseudo traders don't tackle because they don't know it. If you really want to teach somebody and communicate something to them, you're going to show them both sides of the coin. You're going to show this is the strengths and the advantages, and this is where the weaknesses are. And here's the advantage of knowing how to discern who's a real mentor, who's someone that's been really doing it or not. They're going to sit down and honestly tell you, this is where you're going to have difficulty. This is where it's going to be problematic for you. And why would they want to do that? Number one, they want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. I want you to be doing well at this. I don't want to see you lose. I don't want to see you suffer. I don't want to see you have monetary loss. That's why I teach in a demo. That's the reason why I show my examples in a demo. I mean, you saw live accounts this year, but last year, but irrelevant. When I show you executions using the techniques and concepts that I teach, I'm doing it in a demo. Because if you see your teacher out here with almost 435 or whatever it is, thousand people watching me, I'm still repping paper trading. And you see these young men come in there, oh, it's a paper trade, ha ha ha. Yes, it is. For compliance reasons, and I'm not a licensed trade advisor. I'm teaching you things that I believe are going to repeat in the future. That's my opinion. I want you to challenge that opinion. As a viewer, I want you to go into your charts and see if the things I'm teaching you are really happening. Is it an advantage? And don't go into it for a weekend or a month and say, okay, I watched some videos, I scribbled a couple catchphrases that he likes to say, and say I took notes and I did the work. That's not the work. The work was like yesterday, where I'm showing you where things will look like a setup. And even I would take a trade if it was another day other than the days going into non-farm payroll. And telling you up front, I'm going to probably get this wrong. Don't follow this as a trade. And you saw it. The market did not perform like I wanted to do, and only one good setup. That's it. That's the line that you need to know where not to cross. Don't go into the badlands, okay? In the marketplace, there's these areas, there's days, these circumstances where you know that you probably are not going to succeed, but you just have to do it. Why? Because your social equity curve needs a new equity high with clout.
Please do check the description and sign up for the newsletter to know about my trading strategy and trading plan.
On Twitter, TikTok, you name it, wherever it is that you're doing social media, gatherings, and you want to show your peers and your viewers that you were an expert today. You don't want to try to do that on this day. Okay? You don't, because the real experts still can't do it either. Not consistently. And those real experts, the folks that have been doing it a lot longer than these 20-year-olds that just started discovering what a divergence is, what a candlestick is, you want to listen to the old hats because we've been here for a long time and we've seen a lot of things. And unfortunately, we can be stuffy and old and fuddy-duddy and maybe not hip to the new things, okay, the new lingo. But there's wisdom in people that have been doing this, not just me. And I love listening to older traders. I love listening to their stories. I love listening to the logic and the discoveries they've had to find out through pain and loss and how long it took them to do that. I tried to beat this day. It was like a thing for me. Like I had to crack it. And I'm honestly telling you, I was defeated by it. I lost trying to pursue figuring out non-farm payroll. And finally, when at my wit's end, I said, the hell with this. I can't do it. So to avoid that pain of obsessive compulsive disorder that will flare up all the time, when those days would come each month, I would just do nothing. I would do my hobbies. I would do whatever else I was doing other than trading, because I knew impulsively I would do what? Think I see something and trade it and then regret it. How do you avoid doing it? You avoid it altogether. You avoid it. There's no secret to it. If it hurts, it causes you harm, don't do it again. It's simple as that. I don't care how many people around the world can show you after the fact what they supposedly did. Nobody's making a career trading on non-farm payroll Fridays, okay? I'll say it again. Nobody on this spinning rock is making a career trading non-farm payroll. There's all kinds of people out there writing books on how to trade non-farm payroll. There's all kinds of people that have YouTube videos, how to trade non-farm payroll. And they're making money that way. They're telling you this is where the gold lies. This is where it lays in the ground. Here's where you dig it up. And you're going to do what? You're going to buy their pickaxe and their shovels from them, their wares, their insights. And they're the only one making money. Nobody's finding gold out here. It's fool's gold. You think because it moves around, there's opportunity for you to make money. And when you go in there with your pickaxe and your shovel, you just bought money, you spent money on listening to these other people who haven't made money doing it, can't consistently show that they do it. They're only going to show you a book example in hindsight. That's it. That's all you're going to see. That's all you're going to see. Non-farm payroll, those, we'll just call it 30 minutes, okay, from 8:30 to 9 o'clock. That is such a gamble. It's unbelievable. But because of the velocity and the ferocious delivery of price when it's real quick and sudden, that's like, wow, if I could have done that long, if it goes up, or if I could have been short right before it went down like that, man, I could make so much money. And what are you doing? Think for a second. If you're feeling that way, okay, and some of you probably looked at this morning and said, he got it wrong, but I could have bought that and that would have been so much more money, or I would have done this, or I would have done that. Or maybe some of you listened to this and said, watch this, I'm going to demo trade and fade ICT. And look, I did this, and you're going to come up with all kinds of reasons why after the fact. You're still looking through your charts trying to find some kind of trend line where it lined up for it. Trolls. But you're not going to be consistently able to follow this and make money. But why are you trying to push your career into one small day, one small micro fluctuation? I don't care how big non-farm payroll ever is, or ever has been, or ever will be in one event. That does not convince me that that's the only thing I need to worry about for my career. And see, some of you are going to be thinking, yeah, but we need movement to make money. And you can hear the infancy when people type this or say it in their videos or read it in their books. You need to have movement, and non-farm payroll provides that movement. Yeah, it moves just like CPI does. It will move you out of the industry. It'll move you out of the brokerage firm that you have money deposited in right now. It won't be there. That's the movement that you're going to have. Okay. That's the movement that's going to be the result, because you're going to try to do something and it's going to clean your clock. Done and dusted. It's over. Thank you for playing. Good day. There is no participation award except for regret.